There was a man named Daniel. He wasn't famous. He wasn't educated. He wasn't rich. He was just a father. Every morning at 1 a.m., Daniel left his tiny apartment to work at a construction site. His hands were rough. His back constantly hurt. But every evening, no matter how tired he was, he came home smiling because waiting at the door was his your old daughter. She believed her father was the strongest man in the world, but she didn't know something. Daniel only ate once a day, not because he wanted to, because they couldn't afford a meal. He would tell her, Daddy already ate at work, and then he would watch her finish the last piece of bread, pretending he wasn't hungry. One night, she had homework. The teacher asked the class, what is your biggest dream? The next day, she stood in front of the class and said, my dream is to buy my dad a big house, so he doesn't have to work so hard. The class laughed, but the teacher didn't. She asked her gently, why do you want to buy your dad a house? The little girl said something that would change everything. Because every night I hear him coughing in the kitchen, and I think he cries when he thinks I am asleep. The teacher froze. That night, she called Daniel. When he arrived at school, embarrassed and nervous, the teacher handed him a drawing. It was a picture of a small house. In front of it were two stick figures holding hands. Underneath, it said, for the strongest man in the world. Daniel couldn't hold his tears anymore. For years, he thought he was hiding his pain, but his daughter had seen everything. That night, he made a new promise, not just to survive, but to change their life. He started learning after work, watching free business videos, saving every dollar, sleeping only 4 hours a night. People called him crazy, but he had a reason bigger than sleep. 2 years later, he started a small delivery business. It struggled, almost failed, but he didn't quit, because every time he wanted to give up, he looked at that drawing taped above his bed. 5 years later, that small business turned into a logistics company. And one morning, Daniel stood in front of a real house, not a drawing, a real one. He held his daughter's hand and said, you don't have to dream it anymore. She looked up at him and asked, are you still the strongest man in the world? Daniel smiled, no. Success is not always loud. Sometimes it looks like a tired father pretending he isn't hungry. Sometimes it looks like sacrifice no one sees. And sometimes it is built on love so deep it hurts. The richest people in the world are not those who have money. They're the ones who have someone worth suffering for.